So you've spent some time playing around with the equations for parabolas on Desmos. A couple key things to note is that if our equation is x squared equals y, that parabola is going to open either up or down. If it's y squared equals x, that parabola is going to open to the left or to the right. Those are probably the thing that you first want to look at when you look at the equation for a parabola. So when we graph our parabolas, there's going to be a few things to identify first. First thing we should probably decide is, does it open up or down or left or right? This one is an x squared, so this is going to open up or down. Then we also want to decide what P is. What's the distance from our vertex to our focus? And then that will help us identify the focus and directrix. So if 8 is 4P, right? 8 is the 4P there. All we have to do is take whatever value is here, divide it by 4, and that gets us P. So in this specific case, P is 2. So the distance from our vertex up to our focus and down to our directrix is 2. We have x minus 3 and y plus 1. So our graph is shifted right 3 and down 1. So our vertex is at 3, negative 1. Probably helpful to go ahead and graph that quick. So let's draw our coordinate plane. And let's plot our vertex at 3, negative 1. So 3, negative 1, right 3, down 1. There's our vertex. I think it's helpful to draw things as we try to figure out what they are, because then it's easier to count our distance to our focus and our directrix. So if P is 2, that means our focus is up 2 from our vertex. So if we go to our vertex and we go up 1, 2, there is our focus at 3, 1. And then lastly, the directrix is 2 below. So if we go to our vertex and we go down 2, that gives us the horizontal line y equals negative 2. So there's our vertex, our focus, our directrix, and then all we have to do is the sketch of the shape of the parabola around our focus. It's always going to open up around the focus and away from the directrix. So next example, we have y minus 2 squared equals 2 times x plus 4. That's y squared, so we know that our graph is going to open up to the left or to the right. If we look at this term, that's positive, so that's going to open up to the right in the positive direction. If that was negative, it would open to the left. So let's find P. 4P is 2. So divide both sides by 4, and P is just 1/2 in this case. So our focus and directrix are very close to one another. For our vertex, our graph is shifted left 4 and up 2. So our vertex is at negative 4, 2. One common mistake might be using whatever's on the left side to do our horizontal and whatever's on the right as our up and down. But just make sure that whatever is inside the parentheses with the x, that is your left and right shift. Whatever is inside with the y is the up and down, regardless of which side of the equation those are on. So we've got our vertex, and then let's find our focus. So our focus is 1/2 unit to the right. So that would go right 1 unit, and it's going to be very close, and that would put us at negative 3.5, 2. And then if we shift just 1/2 unit to the left, that gives us a vertical line. So x equals, and 1/2 unit to the left would put us at negative 4.5. So we have our focus, directrix, and our vertex. And I think when you played with things on Desmos, you hopefully saw that as those get closer, the graph of a parabola gets narrower. So we're going to have a pretty narrow parabola there going out around our focus to the right.